Tropical rainforests around the globe have the greatest concentration of species and the most biodiversity on our planet. But now large areas of rainforest have been cleared, and many species have disappeared or are on their way to extinction. And scientists are discussing the chances for survival and the future of the rainforest.
About 25% of the known living species of mammals are considered to be in danger of extinction, most of these in tropical rainforest areas.
Christian Samper, director of the National Museum of Natural History, organized the event. He says at least 1/4 of the world's rainforest has been lost over the last 150 years.
The most worrying part is that when you look at the next 50 years, we estimate we may lose about another 25%.
Samper and other scientists agree that the loss is due to a combination of factors, but deforestation for timber and agriculture is the most important. Additional threats include overpopulation, pollution and climate change, invasive species, and hunting. The Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute in Panama is the world's oldest and largest research center for tropical biology. Eldridge Birmingham is the director. He says the rainforest in some regions are in critical condition.
The biggest worry right now in terms of extinction has got to be Southeast Asia.
Nigel Stork is a scientist at the University of Melbourne in Australia. He says most of the species lost are insects, and they play a key role. He explained what happened when cattle were introduced to Australia decades ago.
There were no native organisms to break down cow dung, and thousands and thousands of hectares of land were getting covered in cow dung, which instead of breaking down in 3 months as it does here, it takes 7 years in Australia. And then there were lots of flies.
Elizabeth Bennett at the Hunting and Wildlife Trade Program of the Wildlife Conservation Society says commercial hunting is now a global business, supplying developed countries with exotic meats, pets, furs, and trophies like elephant tusks and lion heads.
In the year 2000, Sumatra was exporting 25 tons of turtles per week to China.
Bennett says logging companies have built roads into remote areas, making them vulnerable to hunters. But the most horrific prospect is the empty forest syndrome.
The empty forest syndrome is a phenomenon where you have actually pretty intact forest. So if you're looking at it from a satellite picture or from an aeroplane, it looks like really nice forest, but it's been very heavily hunted, and so it's falling silent.
Many scientists agree that while the rainforest could survive in one form or another, many species of large animals may not. And in the end, we might only be left with vegetation in a world that has lost its balance. For producer Zulima Palacio, I'm Deborah Block.